Hello everyone, this is John Ward with Appalachian Channel, and I'm in Harrogate, Tennessee, and I'm here with David and Debbie, and we've got a treat for you today. David is a master craftsman, an Appalachian woodsman or woodscrafter, and he has so many things here that he's built over the years, bowls and dulcimers, and he also has some structures here, some Appalachian style structures. He has a swag house that we've come to look at today that he built, and he calls it a swag house because
the roof comes swagging down.
Tell us about where you first saw one of them at.
I first saw it in Sevierville, over there right across from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. There's an old one there that's been there for a long time ago. I took pictures of it probably 25, 30 years ago, and I said one of these days I'll build one of them, but it never came to pass. But now it has, and I've been enjoying it.
I see you started up here with this, what you call Dogtrot house, right up here.
Yes, sir.
And we'll look at that. We'll probably just start up there and work our way down and look at these structures you built. He's got a church right here.
Yeah.
He's got the swag house, and he's got him a little barn down here. But we've been through and looked at his pottery, and we'll show you that more on into the video here. He's got some beautiful wood bowls he's made, and he uses poly-resin together with that. Yeah. And I've never seen that technique myself, and you get to see some of that coming up. But let's go up here and look at this Dogtrot house.
Let's go.
All right, so how long ago was this building built?
That's probably about somewhere 8 or 9 years ago, yeah.
And this is called a Dogtrot because it's got two different sections. You walk through the middle of it.
I've seen these out in out west out there, and some of them didn't have a porch in between them, and they could just ride their horse in right here, tie him up and get in there, or tie him up and get in there, either way.
Yeah.
I said, well, I'm going to make mine with a full porch under it here. So.
Okay, front and back.
Yes, sir.
I've seen something like this before down at the Museum of Appalachian. They have one of these. But
okay.
Now you said you built or made these logs?
Sir. Dovetail notches, yeah. And my friend Bob Hudson said he made this sign, and he said he made it for somebody and they didn't want it. I said, well, I'll take it and I'll put it on here. So there's the sign that he
Ponderosa Ridge. Yeah. That's nice. And he's the guy that you work with that's got the CNC machine.
He's got the CNC, yeah.
Yeah.
We're real good friends, and we work together. I help him and he helps me.
Nice.
No money. We're friends.
Just friends. Well,
we're friends.
That's always nice to have a good friend like that.
Yeah.
So
this is where you hang your hat, but it looks like to me the birds have been hanging on it.
Birds are taking a liking to that.
Yeah, they do. And my steeple too out there on the church. That's go inside.
Yeah, let's look at the inside of it here.
Oh. Probably not a lot of light in here, but this has got beautiful acacia wood floors. I don't know if you can pick those up or not. They're dark, beautiful, almost like walnut, and it's so precious. And
yes.
I had a friend to make the fireplace, and then he left me, and then I started putting these stones on here, and it's like one beautiful stone up through there. Over down it comes right. This is top of the header stone right in here, and then when I built that mantle, I made it go right down to the bottom of it. And I used to have another log like this one, beam going across here. Well, I said it was hiding too much, so we got these cedar posts and put them in there, and we took that beam out, completely out, and so it's gone. Can I tell you a little story?
Sure.
Okay, so we was up here having Christmas dinner, or supper, I guess, and watching a movie, and my wife said, "You want some popcorn?" I said, "Sure." She said, "You got this out." Started making the popcorn in there, and then after a little while, she gave it to me, and she said, I had to shake it for a little while, but then she gave it to me, and I said, "Do you know what that is?" And she said, "No." I said, "That's a bed warmer." She said, "What are you going to do with it?" I said, "Well, I've done eat most of it. I'm just going to finish it on up."
It popped the corn though, huh?
It popped the corn. This is what one of the old times. When I was growing up, this is the kind right here that we had for popping popcorn.
Yes, I remember those. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, we
have some more plates up here. I imagine you made up here in the.
Yes, sir. These are some of them I made. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And also these ones right here. I guess that's for flowers or whatever you want to put in it. It's beautiful wood. That's maple wood. Yeah. And this table, I made this table and this table. And also here, let me show you this. I saw this on Daniel Boone one time, and you just let this down to light your light, And then after you got them all lit, then you pull it right back up. And
Pull it right back up. How about that?
Yeah, I'm put right here on an 8-foot level for you. Okay, one other item here is up here. You can see where I've cut it there. A big nail in there. That's a door that opens up for children to go up there, and they could sleep up there.
Oh, okay.
Most of the old-timey ones would have a ladder going down through here, but it would bring us out, mess up my furniture arrangement. So I just don't have it opened up there now. But that's that's naughty pine.
Right. That's kind of what I used in my barn dominium.
Yeah. Then on the ceiling as well.
Right. That looks like 8-inch wide. I use 6-inch.
Okay.
I think yours is a little wider than mine.
Maybe.
You put a little bit of a...
That's a puzzle that I made. And
Oh.
I made a picture. You got them down there at over at Gatlinburg up on the mountain, and you got a wax that you put. I mean, glue that you put on that.
More plates you made there, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
So how about that? You can...
Yeah. So
I saw another puzzle down there in your workshop or somewhere earlier today when we was looking.
Sir. That was part of some. I've got 20 or 30 of those as well. Yeah. So this has also got the chandelier, the lighted chandelier, and it's got a little small bathroom here that just for necessary moments.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I like this little piece right here.
Yeah.
That's a nice piece.
Yeah. That's we used to have. You can put a television here. I got an antenna up there. It'll pick up Knoxville stations and stuff like that.
What size would this bedroom be here, David?
This is both of these are like 14 by 14.
14 by 14.
Yes,
okay.
Sir. So these logs outside are the full length ones are 14 feet long.
Okay.
Yeah, with their dovetail notches. This. Okay.
You got a beautiful view back here in the back. Let's look back here.
Yes, sir. I can see foxes here. I can see skunks here. I can see deer. And whatever else after they cut this and whatever, it's about time for them to cut it again, it looks like. Yeah.
Right.
And that's my wood shed where I keep all my wood.
Okay, got wood.
Yeah.
You got quite a few wood sheds, I believe, though. You got wood about everywhere I look. There's wood laying right there.
Yeah. Wood on the brain.
He likes wood, don't he? All different kinds of wood.
I like every kind of wood, yeah.
I see
I got so many different ones, yeah. Old-timey washing machine. I used to use one of that. We used to use one of those when we was little.
Yeah.
And I said, I need one up here on my cabin. So
yeah,
they come available and we bought it.
I love that.
Yeah.
You got your nice front porch here too.
Oh man, yeah. And like you say here, you can looking down that way there. You can almost. I know you can see down to the Speedville post office area. You know, if that tree wasn't up so big right now in the wintertime, you can see it better than you can right now. You cannot see to the White Rocks, but you can see up that way just a little bit up toward Virginia.
Yeah, you got a good view up here.
Oh, it's most beautiful place to picnic ever was, or just go down and get you a dinner and come up here and just sit around and just enjoy all the beautiful view.
Built you a well out here to go along with you.
Yes, sir.
You got a whole village going on now.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You got any plans to build anything else?
A house right down here. Maybe.
A house?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that for what? To live in or just to go along?
That's for me and her family.
Yeah.
Our family. Okay.
So this is a church, Heavenly Hills Holiness Church, as the sign says.
Bob made that, yeah. And let's come on in. And we have church here. We have singings out of the old-timey singing out of the old books, and we gather people in here, and as like I think the most we've had so far has been like 23. But we'll gather here on Saturday, and then at 10 o'clock, and we'll sing probably about 12 o'clock or 1, somewhere in that time there. This is all made out of hemlock. I know that.
This is hemlock here?
That piece right there and this one right here. See how we got those two the same and two of them over there the same. Two over here and two over there. They're 23 inches wide.
And what's your floor?
That's hemlock. It's all hemlock.
All hemlock.
Yeah, except for these benches. I made them out of, that one's out of poplar. This one over here is out of pine. This one here's pine. I guess some of them are pine, some of them are hemlock, or wherever I could get a thing. Or, yeah, okay, pull it. Ring
got
the
a
bell.
That's all
Kids like
right.
to do that.
Then I make this fluted wood here for the sides, and that's the old-timey style of windows and everything. And I enjoy making all that. Make that with an old jig I've got from it's from Craftsman, a real old one. But you put it in a table saw and it'll flute it right up and down through there.
Yeah, how about that? That's nice.
Yeah. This pulpit's made out of a kind of a curly cherry, and it looked like me. It cracked open one time, but it's a beautiful piece of wood too. I like.
Did you make these benches?
Made everything.
Yes, sir. Everything here, completely. Yeah. Turn those legs on the lathe, and all these.
Now, did you pattern them after some other benches like this, or
Some, but I saw them down in the Museum of Appalachia. I saw some like this, and some I think up around Henderson Settlement up there.
Okay.
Friend Joey Beeson, he's done that, and I've made them just all different sizes and kinds. That little bitty one right there, you might think that's for a child, but we've got a brother at church about 90 years old. He's probably about like 5 foot 1 or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
That fits him just right. Where he sits down and his legs goes out there good.
So y'all have church here about once a month, you say?
About once a month, yeah. And you see over here, while we're here, you can see all my shingling. I've rounded the bottom on all those. I don't know how many shingles would be on this entire structure here, but I'd say somewhere around 2,000. I know it was way over 4,000. 400 on the front porch when we was making it. You can see the gutter there that Debbie and I hand-hewed, and some of the structure. Excuse me.
I had to figure that out.
She helped hew it out, yeah. So, okay.
All righty, you got your nice rock walkway down here.
Yeah, friend built that same one, built the chimney on the back side of it there.
Now this is what we came here to film today, was the swag house you wrote me about.
I swagged the front porch down like that to match with some of the contour of the roof up there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you said you saw one of these in Sevierville there. We talked about that.
Yes, sir.
Was it built that way, or had it just swagged over time?
No, it was built that way. They purposed it that way when they did build it.
Okay.
The dormers, they're a certain height, and then they go up on both sides. Maybe you can't see it so much right there, but they're aimed upwards. And then they slope down, toward the bottom of the roof there.
Yeah, it's hard enough for me to build straight. I imagine building crooked takes a lot more
finesse.
Well, you got to figure things a little different, I guess, when you're measuring.
Yeah, and it's all under construction because there's a lot of pieces I don't have wood up yet or whatever, And so, yeah.
Well, it's looking good, though. Looking good. Got you flowers out here. Mm-hmm. You built this door?
This door, Debbie designed it, and we built it together, and it's made out of 3 pieces of
I'd never
2
built
by 12s
before.
So
First time.
we had this is a together project here, and then Bob made the sign, and then we designed this to go around that arch. I don't have it finished on the inside, but then we put the window, 2 windows, 1 window on each side here.
Those look like they might have come out of an older house somewhere.
Yes, sir. Yeah, they did.
They were hard to clean and hard to paint.
Yeah. So I still got some more construction here on this. I'm going to start right here with a round beads that comes down, and I'm going to put them in 2 pieces. 2 pieces of wood going from this one to this one, that one to that one, and then also one from here going up to there on both sides.
That was what you were showing us down there on the table earlier.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Well, can we see the inside of it?
Yes, sir.
We'll show them. I like these big old hinges here.
Yeah. That come from Duncan's Lumber Company.
Okay, yeah, I like them hinges.
You can see we got the ladder down. We was putting up this trim here, right before you came, and so we still got the ladder down. But you can see this has got the old newspaper, wallpaper on the wall.
Those are some more bows that he made.
Yeah, there's another few bow.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Tell me about that mantle.
That's a piece of maple. And Bob gave me that. He had it down there, and he said, "Dave, if you want, you can have it." So I went down there, and I do what I call a chip facing. Get right here and just with my Adze, and then just chip right in it like that to give it this den look. So you're gonna see that on this, a little bit on that one, but my main front porch post out there is going to have this work on it too. This is a fireplace that we've used it a bunch of times because it was cold here sometime. This hardwood flooring come out of Lafayette, Tennessee. And it was very old. I don't know, the man had it, and I got it from him, put it down. We're going to have to sand it down and finish it up to be complete here. But, yeah. Me and her got these 2 logs down here, and we got her draw knives out, and she helped me. We cleaned them off there as good as we could and then sanded them down.
There ain't much I ain't done.
Yeah, she's learning how to do everything, seems like here with us. Like I say, we're a work in progress here, but we're trying our best to get it all done.
Yeah, and got some space upstairs.
Come over here. Yeah. Okay. I want you to take a picture of this 1/4 before to make the walls kind of swag out like this. Yeah. Then I put 2 of these in, one over here and one over there, kind of make it, if it was a swag down, that means it's bellied out or pushed out on both sides. So that's why I put this in here, but leaning out that way. So all this gives you a lot of different degrees and angles and measurements or whatever else, to go along with it. Okay.
This door looks like it's going to fold up too, huh? Or this ladder.
It's going to be the ladder to go up and down. Yeah. It will go up here. It's barely clears this piece of trim here that I've got. Let me show you here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you got it.
I've got it hinged. I just don't have it up there, but it's awful.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it goes right on up. Okay, so it's going to have a pulley system. It goes up there. And I'm going to have a coal bucket over here that will be a counterweight to it. I'll get there. I think I can. If I drop it, call rescue squad. Okay, so it's going to be like a counterweight that will. It's from an old movie that I saw. It's called So Dear to My Heart. The little boy, he lived upstairs, and for him to get his ladder down and go up there, then he had a coal bucket over here, and he'd go over and take a piece of coal out, and then the ladder would come down, or he could go over and put one in, and it goes up whichever way. And he had that there. And I want to show you this little thing here.
Okay.
It's about the best that I've come up with yet, but anyway, it's like a little thing here, and it's got a disc inside of it. We got full of other things there too, but I found this down at Morristown, and I said, I've got to have it somewhere in my little swag house. So we got it. Yeah, they had it on sale for half price. It was like $150. Now they had it on $75. So I said, yeah, that's mine. So I got him up and brought him back home with me. And this is the place I got. I still got a piece of wood here or there, wherever else. Things in the corners and all kinds of little doodad things to do.
Nice. That's interesting.
Yeah, I've never seen one before, so I decided I'd go with this one. Okay, go on out. There we go. The reason why that I've got that side there to go out is because when that disc comes around on that radius, it's going to be sticking out that much further. I had to have that to clear so that I could do that. So I just designed that little latch and hinge right there to do that with. Yeah. And your regular hardwood hardwire for the store was this is 1.5 inches, and it's made for almost 2 inches. So I had to design this little piece right here. We did, and put that in there where we could build it out to where that everything would work good with it. So
okay, yeah, I'd space it out a little bit.
Had to space it out, yeah. Yeah. Which one?
There's 2 big ones right there.
You look at the man who gave you one.
These right here on the side of the barn.
I showed them pieces down there on the front porch of the shop, and how that you wanted me to make like a table that would have like 4 legs over here coming off of the base, and then come over here and have legs coming up with another landing area there. Yeah.
So
what kind of piece of wood do you want?
I don't know. I'd like to have one.
He's like me. He likes a lot of things, but we don't collect nothing much anymore.
It's maple, yeah.
Love it.
That's oak. Yeah.
That's some nice looking wood.
Yeah. Let me get this piece
I said
here.
he's got wood on his brain.
Yeah. That's got some pretty color to it, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm on top of something there, but it's heavy any way you want to look at it. There it is.
It's a piece of metal.
Well, but that's a piece of cedar. Now, out of cedar, I'll make a bowls, or I'll make just whatever, it wouldn't be such a bad idea if you cut a straight line on it and maybe put two of them together for like a countertop for your kitchen or whatever.
This would make a pretty table, but it's heavy.
Yeah, this piece right here now, well, it's kind of like split on that backside, so it's good. That's a piece of Kentucky coffee wood.
Never heard of coffee wood.
Okay, that's Kentucky State
There's a tree
tree,
right
I think.
down there as you go out.
There's a tree right down there as you go out, but this one's over yonder, and it was, man, that tree was huge. And it's got a beautiful pattern, like almost like walnut. I made some psalteries out of some of it that's down there. And it sounds good too. For a psalter, it's a beautiful wood.
Yeah, you got a bunch of, how many you think you got made up down there? There's everywhere.
50, 60, 70, I don't know. I never did keep count.
I just 6 to my house.
Well, we're going to go show them that footage we filmed a little while ago right now and take them down there and show them some of that.
Okay.
No, what's that?
Adze is something you hold in your hand. It's got a very sharp blade on the front like a mattock. And you sit there and just dig it like that right there. So with, let's see, if I got know here's hand-hewed or not. There's a beautiful piece.
How long have you been doing this type of work?
Probably about 20 years.
20 years.
20 years, yes sir. And let's see, somebody's got live edges like this one. Of course, got the bark on the edge of it. These right here, this is persimmon. It's yellow. That's your younger type. Well, it's got a little bit of ebony in it, but that's it. This is out of maple and whatever all else.
You ever sell any of your stuff that you make, or you just?
I do sometimes. I go to flea market setup or some of the fall festival sometime. I make all these little animals too. All these, this cat and this deer. Has 2 cuts on that. You mark it. See, that's flat side. So you mark this pattern out. You cut it out, and then you mark a pattern on this, and cut it out, and then you've got it. You've got it almost made, except for the sanding. You see the other ones right over here. And then this little jewel, you see through it.
That's interesting.
Yeah. This one, let's see through it too. Made a piece of cedar.
And you just put poly-resin on it to make it clear.
I pour it full with, I drilled holes, on these I drilled holes through, and then I poured them full of epoxy with a color. You can color that epoxy and pour it right in there.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, let's journey on. That's made out of monkey pod. It comes out of Africa. This one here is made out of tiger stripe maple. Love tiger stripe maple. This one's here is made out of black and white ebony. It comes out of Laos, Cambodia. And that's...
You play these?
Yes, sir. $150 a square foot on that. This is purple heart, if you can catch that color.
Yeah, how about that? That's natural wood color?
Natural wood color out of South America. There's another piece of that black and white ebony.
Yep.
And this one is also, I got that going crossways instead of long ways. Let's see now. This one over here. Black and white ebony. And
You've made quite a few of these, looks like.
Yeah.
What kind of hours do you got in one of these?
Probably a couple of days, from start to finish. I don't know what color this one is here. Okay, this one here is made out of olive wood, like an olive tree wood.
Yeah.
And that is extremely one of my favorites.
Now, how do you get this? Would order it from somewhere?
I get it from over at Seymour. Over there is a exotic wood place over there. I get it from.
Okay.
And this is pine, that's pine, that is. But some of them, this one here, my friend Bob Hudson's got a CNC machine. That's a piece of, but he makes all that beautiful carving. That's all roasts down through there. And that bottom piece there is going to be, that's another piece of that olive wood. This is a piece of that persimmon. This is hand-hewed with that hand axe. When you hand-hew one, I got some tools up there. Anyway, you draw your pattern out, and then you start chopping on it all the way around. You get all that done. It's all done by hand. And then on the inside, you got an adze that's curved that you can dig on the inside with then. And get all that done there on the inside. I'd like for you to feel one of these.
You want to play one of them?
No, I want you to just feel how heavy it is.
Oh, wow. Boy, it is heavy.
That's some dense wood, isn't it? It's so beautiful. I don't know if any of them's in tune. You have to have a bow. But with a bow, I don't think I even have a bow in here, John. So it sounds beautiful. These are, they've got that black and white ebony. They really sound good. As far as wood's so dense, I think that it sounds a lot better than most of them do. I've got seaweed around the outside edge on all these. And they got all kinds of little, whatever, Hobby Lobbies.
What is that, like a cypress wood or something? Or
This is a piece of maple. That's
maple.
Yeah, and it's 52 inches. It did have another side there, but it split over toward the center, so I cut that out. I had it up there. I love the way this outside is. It is so beautiful. And then over here, I've got one out of a Buckeye burl. If you know what a Buckeye burl is, it comes out of California. You know?
No, I don't know much about wood.
Okay. So you can see it's a whole. It's like a bulb that's in the ground on this Buckeye out there in California. They don't do it here. Most of your burls here is on the outside of a limb or or the base of it. A lot of maples have got them all up and down the sides of them. But you can see how you did this. And then this is the top of a cedar tree that grew up, and it stopped growing up, and it just started flowering out the legs. And when I saw that, I said, "Man, that's beautiful." And I was going to make legs out of it for this table. This is a piece of that's apple butter scoop.
Okay.
It's a 1700s model. I mean, it's copied after a 1700s model. Yeah, and anything I can find, make, do whatever else, I just plunder over into it. So
I'll see you stay busy with it.
Look at this one, John. Can you see how that's made with these limbs? See here? And I cut in them limbs to put them together. And then I made that bowl out of it, and I put that's a pine cone in there, split down the middle. See that beautiful in there? And this is the outside of it, and I just flattened it off, turned it over down. It had a void hole right there, so I make our heads out of flint and jasper, obsidian, whatever. And so I've got that little Clovis point in it right here. And here's another one of those. You can see the pattern. How you have to, just work on each one of the pieces and put them all together. And then I poured it with epoxy over it, and then I turned the bowl out of it. You see a real good pattern on it right there.
Yep, it's nice.
Over here, cream of the crop.
This is the one you sent me a picture of
This is the
here.
one I sent you a picture of here, John.
I recognize that one.
Yeah. So it's got like, let's see, Bob did this one, his son did this one, his wife did this one. This one I crammed Nemo right back in that crack, because he was always coming in and going out. So she liked a lot of sharks, so she got these different sharks. Bob got some turtles and frogs and whatever else. And I poured it on the bottom. It was a solid on the bottom, solid wood. And his CNC machine, he drew all this out, and he fashioned it like that. And then we left the bottom on. There's Nemo again, right there he is. And so I poured it up in there, it blowed the bottom out of it. I had a big disaster on my hands then, so I redid it, and I put just a little bit of epoxy in here that it would stay, it wouldn't go down through. And I put all my seaweed in, and a lot of these heavier items in, and I poured it up 2 of them. And then I laid these stingrays because they're like up in the air above them, and then we poured it all over the top there, and then he flattened it off again with on both sides with a CNC machine. And it said, Donnie, I think, Donnie's got a shark here. He's got part of a chain hanging on his tail because there's the anchor. He got the steering wheels and off of the hem where, I don't know what else in here, just whatever comes from Hobby Lobby. We just gathered up a whole big bunch of stuff and put it all in there. I love this maple right here, this outside of the tree, and the beautiful colors that it's got to it, this as well. And this is a complete burl. This is made out of maple burl. And this is the piece here where they cut the trot to follow the tree, and they had that on there. So that'll sit that way, or it'll sit that way, either way. That's a beautiful piece. I love burls, maple burls. This is out of a cedar stump. Let me go over this way over through here. This is a segmented bowl that I make out of all pieces like from England Corsair. They throw them all away for burn for kennel wood. And then this one's made out of 144 different pieces of wood. And I've got 2 herringbone patterns. This one here goes that way, and this one here goes that way. And then that's walnut in the middle. So that's going to give you this beautiful hourglass on the outside here. That's a beautiful piece of wood there.
Yeah, nice.
This one's the same thing, but except it's that's going to have like 80 pieces of wood in it. But it's got some of that 9-ply plywood in it. And it's going to have your beautiful corners like that too. Right here. Now this one is the one I've hand-hewed with a hand axe. You know, sitting there chomping all over it. And I got it, when I got it done, then I said the back side I've kind of ribbon flaked it too here on both sides there. That's like a double heart one there.
Got some more of them, dulcimers. Is that what you call these? Dulcimers?
Dulcimers, yes sir. In my bedroom in there, I probably got 20 or 30 more of them in there. Now, this is made out of a beautiful piece of maple. And you can see a tiger stripe and get it in the sun just right, where it needs to be.
Yep. Nice.
I think you know this wood, don't you? Wormy chestnut.
Wormy chestnut.
Okay,
You
so
don't see much of stuff like that no more, though.
no, sir. And that's a piece of maple there. So what with all your instruments makers, they put a very hard wood, a dense wood on the bottom, and they put this real soft wood on top. So it's the reflection of the sound coming back up. It's going to give you the best sound that you can get. And I thought that there's nothing could be any older. I mean, that piece of wood right there is probably way over 100 years old. I mean, they all died out in the 1900s.
Right.
And I figured that would be the best one for a top. And it sounds great. Had legs on there. Somebody knocked it off the other day and broke the legs off of it, but it's like this one right here.
This is all your little animals. You got you a farm there, don't you?
Yeah, I got me a gnome.
A gnome.
Yeah, a goose over here. This is an elephant. This is an owl. There's all these little piggies in here, and that's a goose with his nose down on the ground. And a little doggy. Yeah.
Okay. So this is your workshop.
This is my workshop over here. I'll show this piece of maple. I love the black mixing in with color, you know, like this and like that.
Now what kind of wood's that?
This is going to be maple.
Maple.
Yeah. A piece of it here. I've got pieces here. I've got pieces up in my barn, and I'm thinking Debbie's going to want a table make with different kinds of different odd shapes on legs that would stem off of one base, like probably for up yonder. And then just have the original cut there. Walnut, got maple, who knows what. I'm a gatherer. And this one over here now, John, this one over here, that's got bullets holes in it. See all them bullets in there? We started sawing out with a bandsaw. Man, it started destroying the blades. Because you can see it's got a little copper jacket on it. If you can see that real good, right there on the outside. Or you can see it right here, maybe better. You see that copper looking color around the lid. So those were hard, hard. Look at all the holes in it though. But I'm gonna make a table out of that. Just probably like around the corners a little bit maybe, or then come in with a dip here, and then some on the sides, whatever, to make that. I know he's gonna come. I would have cleaned it up. Okay. Now here's all kinds of wood. Let me see here. Brent gave me that the other day. Here's a couple of beautiful pieces of walnut. That is what I'm wanting. This walnut like this right here. I've got a walnut. This is a piece of sassafras here. This big long one. That's almost a 1.5 by 8. You know. It's got all kinds of it. This big planer. Let's see right inside here. This is a disaster. All your wood lays are disaster areas. But anyway, right here some of those bowls where I turn these out right here.
Oh, you got a separate room to do it in.
Yeah, keep it all in here as much as you can, you know.
To make a lot of sawdust.
Oh my goodness, yeah. If I showed you a picture of with that epoxy, it's just like comes off of big long strands. And it's going to be all over your head. It's going to be dripping plumb down to here. You wouldn't believe it, that epoxy. It's,
I used to use some of it. It's like a 2-part, you mix it.
Yes,
yeah, and I used to make some plaques that we epoxy. That stuff's not fun to deal with. It's going to get nasty.
No, I make ink pens and I make it on this, but I've got this buffing process on it right now. This is the one of those. That table was going to make these seahorses for legs, and his machine after it got done, it just come right across through there. It just automatically done those things. We don't know what went wrong. Maybe something went wrong with the program, but it sure did mess up my seahorses. But I've got 2 or 3 of them down in the house I didn't look at. But okay.
Yeah, you got some nice looking wood.
Poplar, yeah. Chainsaw, power saw in that with me. Okay, come on back here. Here's some of that black and white ebony. I mean, that stuff is beautiful. And like I say, a piece big enough to make the saw tree out of, I paid probably like $384 just for a 2 by 8, 2 foot long.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. This is that butcher block right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Bob made these 2 here and he gave them to me. He said I'd know what to do with them. But back here I made dulcimers.
You do have a bunch more, don't you?
I don't know where my end is about all of it and everything. End in relics. These are like Welch love spoons. And this one here is beautiful. That's made out of tiger stripe maple. Yeah. This is that box elder with the red in it. Yeah. Of maple. For the dulcimer, got walnut size, and I got this other piece up here, and then this is that tiger stripe maple just as well as. Set it down there. But okay. I don't know what to say. Everything here, got all kinds of. This is that piece I was telling you a while ago about. This is a piece of sassafras, and this one was. This is after a pattern that my sister's husband told me. He said that Mommy would always keep it full of flour with a towel over it, and she'd get it out and she'd roll it up over here and cut them and then put them in a pan over here. He said she'd make all the biscuits for. They worked in sawmill, and you know they you'd already that takes everything out. But this is a style like what she had there, and then she put the towel back over it, put it back up on the shelf for tomorrow's business. Yeah.
What are you doing right here, David? I see you got some poly-resin in here.
That's another fish that Bob was making. It can be used as a place to put things in to hide them.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Still a work in progress.
yeah, me and real good friends. Oh, he cut the grass up there for me. He came up last night and he said, David, he said, a voice spoke to me and told me to go up here and cut your grass. And y'all, he didn't know it, but at that very moment, I went over to Debbie's for supper, and while I sat down, I said, Debbie, I wish somebody would be able to cut my grass for me. I ain't gonna have time to do everything. And I'm not kidding you, it was within 1 minute, he called me. I said, Bob, if you don't believe in Providence, I do.
Yeah, how about that?
I know that these are Abos, these are original ones, and different ones.
Is those some that you might have collected yourself?
That my father might have, and he said, David, there was broken pieces and everything. He said, David, you think you could chip them out, make little arrowheads, and we go to the fall festival and just give it out to all the little boys? I said, Dad, I know we could. So we took them over and we give them out to every little boy that come by, tickle them to death. This is something I make out of glass. Different ones. Can you see this one right here?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
Is that a bottle?
Yeah.
What's it say?
Clorox?
Clorox. Okay, so I don't have my glasses on.
This tribe is just about extinct.
The Clorox tribe.
Okay. So it's made out of different things. This is made out of obsidian and some quartz out of California. That's clear stuff. Different
Now,
ones here.
did you do those?
I make these, yes, sir.
Yeah. Where you get all this time at to do all this stuff at?
For sure. I tell everybody, I said, look, it's only been 12 years ago that we didn't own any of this, and I was cutting all in my backyard. We was cutting all that grass there, and we started putting up flowers and everything. I want to show you this piece over here.
Okay.
I'll show it to everybody. Remember the last of Mohican and Mogla and Chingich Cook, and he come in there and Gutsy with it. So I made a pattern on there, but here, see, you can pull that. Okay, it won't come out right. Okay. Yeah, I'm hitting that. It's wedge shaped. Put back in there. One little tap right there. You can't pull it.
How about that?
Yeah.
So you was designing it that way when you made it, huh?
Yes, sir. Well, I've been into nap-ins. They call them nap-ins, where you gather up to make arrowheads and flints and stuff, and people from everywhere come and gather in.
Okay.
So they had a contest of whose axe could cut the best through the green wood.
Yeah.
And it would surprise you how good them things will cut.
How about that?
Yeah, so here's a bunch of other little bowls. This is my grandfather. That's an old painting of him. Different ones around about. Where there were all kinds of little... That bomb I gathered out of Louisiana when I was stationed down there in the Air Force in 1969 and 70. My friend wrote on bombs not healthy for people or any other living thing. But I found the two pieces that would go together. I kept that as a bombing run there years ago, back for World War II.
Yeah.
And as these fragments was all over and through yonder, snakes and alligators and everything else too. They had like a 20,000 acre game reserve there, and you could go back in there deer hunt or whatever.
That stuff was just laying out back there, huh?
Yeah, they just laying everywhere.
How about
All
that?
fragments of them. I just worried some of them went off, some of them didn't. What? I don't know, but there it was. I got one.
Nice. I don't blame you. I'd have got one too.
Yeah, that's a keepsake from the military. Mm-hmm. This is an old Anvil here. It's from her family. That's come across from. So these are the draw knives right here that we skinned those teepee poles with down here. That corn planter over there in the corner You know, you push down the ground, you open up,
Yeah.
then come back together with it, and then step and do that and go on. You know, I bought this. I don't know what it is, and I don't know anybody that does know what it is. If somebody would know, I'd sure like to know.
Well, that sure is heavy duty, ain't it?
Yeah.
For something.
Now, my great uncle, he used to raft logs down the river,
Yeah.
and from here they would go plumb to Chattanooga with them.
Well,
They'd raft them right down the river, and I'm thinking this might be something that you would maybe pull, trying to keep your logs together or what, you know.
maybe it's to dig out taters with.
Well, maybe. That's, whatever it is, it's heavier duty. And this hole right here, it's got English markings on it, crayons and made in England and all that stuff on there, but I ain't never found a handle that will fit it. And
That's a big hole.
I have to get one to fit it. You know that John Wayne movie, you see this one, this cleaver right there? That's about like that that Chinese, he had that he was standing there on that John Wayne movie and holding it up in his hand, you know. So now that red saw there, we use that one. And back over, let's see, John, let's go back over. So this I used up there on that gutter a little bit. It's just a little bit bigger. It's a gutter ass. It's a shipbuilder's gutter ass, you know. But I didn't use it on that up there. But you know, we did use it a little bit, but it's too wide for that piece of wood that I had.
Yeah, right.
Okay, let's go back this way. Over here, that bottom crosscut saw there is the one that we used when I was a child. And man, my brother had to go up there. Let me move this out of the way. I'll show you this area over here. Hang on. This could be it. Okay. This is where I hand-hew a bowl. This is some of my hand asses. I got two of them out there in my truck that we used to do the gutter with. But you can, if you touch it, be careful. You know.
Oh wow, it is sharp, ain't it?
It's sharp, but I don't have a piece I'm working on. I got this old piece of maple here. Yeah, and I've got a line drawn there, but just take it and just start digging. You don't have your leg near close. It's dry, so it don't want to cut real good too. But this is a process of making a bowl. You start with this, and you know it's going to take a while. Okay, so that's the way you get started on one. And it's a beautiful burl. Goes in on the inside. Like I say, both my good ones are up there. But you take a rounded one when we're going to start cutting on this right here, and you just dig your way over. Man, that thing's too dry. I've let it sit around too long. You know, but you just. That's too old. I need to throw it away or burn it. It's just too far gone. But basically, what you make a bowl with is a green piece of wood. It's just been cut,
right?
And it'll cut. It cuts easily, you know. But that's part of the process right there.
Well, David, that's quite the tour there of all the different things you've made, and I can't believe that you've done that in the time you've done it in. You just must be making something every day, I guess.
Probably 2 or 3 things a day sometimes. Yeah, I just enjoy playing with wood and everything. Yeah, it's given me a good talent, and I love to use it. Yeah.
Well, we just was looking around here just a minute ago. We found some more sheds with more wood in it. You got stuck everywhere, and you like that wood, and I do too. I think most men like good wood, you know, to build with or make things out of, man. And you've made some very creative things, especially with the poly-resin that we saw there.
Yeah, mixed with wood.
That's something we'll have to watch you make sometime when you go to make one of them. Okay. If you guys would like to see him make some of them bowls, leave us a comment and we'll come back. And I told him I'd like to see him cut some wood on this sawmill. So maybe we'll come back and film you making some of this stuff. And you said you helped make shingles, didn't you?
We might road shingles.
Now, how did you make those shingles? You just do that by hand?
You got a froe.
A froe.
You got a big
mallet.
Take
a big hammer.
Big mallet. And you beat it down through there, and then you rive it. You got a piece of wood that's a fork, and you put your piece in right there, and then you rive it over, and it just pops it off right down through there.
That bark off that.
That's a draw
Well,
knife.
maybe next time I come, let you do some demonstrations on some of it. We just kind of took a tour of everything that you've made.
Yeah.
Maybe you can show us how you make some of it
Or
next
even
time.
using the hand axe to dig out the gutters.
Yeah.
Throwing shingles is not easy.
Don't sound like it, but it sure is a unique structure you got there.
Well,
You got your whole village going on here, and I love it. I love Appalachian culture and history, and I love when people step back in time and build things we don't see no more. You know,
That's
they're
right,
slowly disappearing. So you've got quite a museum going on.
And me teaching her how to throw shingles or to dig out the gutters and things. I said, this is some things that 95% of people out here don't even know what we're doing.
No, you don't
used
see
to
that
be
a lot.
our
Even
heritage.
using a draw knife to take
Well,
the
you might
bark
have
off.
seen some craftsmen like that at Dollywood used
Maybe,
to every now
yeah.
and then. You'd see them making a few things, but you just don't see things being made by hand no more.
Yeah.
And that's one of the interesting things I see about you. You do a lot of handwork.
Okay.
So
Appreciate you.
appreciate you. Good meeting you both. And
Yeah,
we'll be
thank you for coming by.
see you on the next video, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.